is back when I lived in an old apartment of mine. There was a guy who was sitting on the corner. I'd see him sometimes, and it already started out with him saying like, "Hey babe" to me, stuff like that, and he asked me out on a date at one point, to which I said no. And then I was at a McDonald's with my boyfriend at the time, and I was waiting outside, and so I was by myself, and this man walked up to me again, starts talking to me, and so just to sort of let him know that I'm uncomfortable and would prefer it if he walked away, I was like, "Yeah, I'm just here waiting for my boyfriend, he's inside." So the man just looked at me and he was just like, "If it wasn't for your boyfriend, it would be just you and me." And I was like, it was really uncomfortable and not fun at all. Not a good experience.
I'm Hannah Kim. Something I deal with a lot is when I walk home from work, I get catcalled, and it's not a very comfortable feeling when you're trying to get home safe and people are shouting at you from the street. And it's something that a lot of people have to deal with, and it shouldn't be something that we should fear. Just walking home. It's ridiculous. We should be able to feel safe in our own hometown.
I'm Lane, and I've been for years harassed. It's great. To the point I usually ignore it, and there's been cases since I'm very confrontational where they start to not leave me alone anymore. I have to ask them to do something. Sorry for swearing, but that's what I'm saying. And I will usually try to intimidate them until they leave me alone, and so far it has worked. Even though I know it's not.
Yeah, there's a John right over there.
I'm Ina, and I usually wear headphones even though I'm not listening to music because it's not safe to listen to music and walk in the streets. But I do that to pretend that I don't hear people. I've had people call me a bitch because I don't accept their harassment, and it is a daily problem, even in Fairville, Michigan.
I got one more. Carry pepper spray.
Oh,
Feel a lot safer.
I do carry nice little dog tag.
Ah, nice.
Which is sad, I've actually had to threaten people then over that.
Someone empowered that we are supposed to, as women and as little girls, trust our uncles, our fathers, our cousins, our aunts, our sisters. I was sexually assaulted in college, date raped for the second time. Spoke out and no one heard me. No one believed me. Why? Because I came out as a lesbian. And a lot of people know that and I'm not saying it's every man, so please don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of men feel that if you're gay or bisexual or bicurious or pansexual or even polygamous, that you don't know what it's like to be with a man. So I'm going to teach you what it's like to be with a man. So I dealt with that. But I'm a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. And I've always said that. Fast forward, I got married in 2007 to a woman. At the time, it wasn't legal here, so we went to Canada. We were together for 3 years before we said I do. And the night that we said it was the first time that she put her hands on me. Because I didn't wear the right outfit for our honeymoon. And it went on for a year, and I silenced myself, and I didn't speak out because I was ashamed, and I was scared, and I felt like I had no one because she had isolated everybody from me, sisters, friends that I hadn't spoken to in years, and they blamed me for it. But see, people don't understand that when you're a victim, you cry silently, but you really want someone to hear you. You give little clues. I went from 130 pounds to 82 pounds when I finally left her.
At the age of 6, my foster sister asked me if I wanted to play doctor. She took me to the camper and she raped me. My other foster sister caught her, and that's when I learned what she did was wrong. But then I learned a more horrid fact of why she did what she did to me. Eventually, CPS realized abuse was happening in my house, and it was not my adoptive parents. It was my foster siblings and my adopted siblings that were doing it. CPS interviewed me on my own, and I told them what happened, And they explained to me that my sister did this because an adult did it to her. I found out the truth at 6 years old that my sisters were used as prostitutes for drugs through foster families and their biological families. And not only that, CPS knew. And back then, we weren't given tools to help with these kids and what they're going through. So they self-projected on me, and CPS taught me another thing, empathy. I learned to empathize with my abuser when I was 6. That's a problem. And it's because they wanted to protect all of us from going to worse homes like that. I had to learn to sit in pain and live with my abusers and rapists my whole life. And not only that, but learn to stand with them and fight for them. Because what happened to them is wrong. So this continued the cycle of abuse. My adoptive father, he's probably watching this or will. He was a controlling, narcissistic man to my adoptive mother, who was a saint, who has stood with me through everything. When I was 8, his friend walked in on me in the bathroom. When I was 8, that's the first time a grown man touched me inappropriately. My sister caught him again, and she jumped on him and attacked, sicked the dog on him. When we told my dad what happened, he didn't believe us, he said. Later on, about 20 minutes later, I caught my dad beating the man up and telling him he wasn't allowed at my house ever again. My dad showed me right then and there he did believe me, but that my voice meant nothing to him. I learned another lesson at that age. I pretty much stand alone. I am in the middle of a divorce from a very controlling, narcissistic psychopath. He's refusing to sign the divorce papers and is holding me prisoner. The fact that that is legally allowed is bullshit. Pardon my mouth. The first day he put his hands on me was about 8 months into our relationship. One night he went out and he didn't answer his phone, and he showed up and he had a hickey on him. So I asked about it, and I got hit. I swung back. He's now saying me fighting back for the last 8 years is abuse to him, and I want him to know right here, right now, you created your own hell here today. You put your hands on me. You almost killed me. You trapped me in the basement with a machete, and you should be in jail, but you controlled me with marijuana overages because I would have gone to jail. Had they shown up, they would have come back for a warrant and arrested me. I'll never forget waking up in the shower with my own blood dripping down my face from my broken nose, loosened teeth, and eye, and him crying thinking he killed me.
By my roommate's boyfriend. And the reason why I tell you this story is because that is proof that it actually doesn't matter what you wear. That even if you are covered, like me, there are still people out there that are going to take advantage. And it's not a matter of what we're wearing. It's a matter of fighting against those who are trying to take advantage of all of us.
Years old. And it was by someone that I was dating. They were 3 years older than I was, and it was not intercourse. And so it's important to understand when we talk about rape, rape is not just sexual intercourse. Rape is fingers, rape is oral sex, rape is anal sex, rape is any non-consensual touching on your body. And that is very important to know. I have been raped more than once, and I have never been raped by a stranger. And so when we talk about the fact that 1 in 4 women have been raped in their lifetime, the other statistic that we need to talk about is how many men are rapists. Because it's not just 1 in 4 women that are raped by like 2 men in the world. It's not just 1 in 4 women who are raped by 5 men in the world and by strangers in dark alleys. It is men who are everyday men who are walking down the street today, driving home from work, who rape their wives, who rape their girlfriends, who rape women because they're wearing leggings, because leggings are not real pants, who rape women because they are sharing their cleavage. Rape is not about what you are wearing. Rape is about control and power.
We live in a very small town that is not open to much more than the norm. We have an out and proud lesbian daughter that faces that every day, and I throw props to her. I was raped at the age of 14, less than 24 hours. My rapist felt his duty to assign to me the label of being a whore, an easy lay, and a slut. That was a huge deterrent for me to voice that I had been victimized. It was a good 6 years before I shared that with anyone. 2 decades later, I'm both disappointed and disgusted that this continues to be an issue, that young men and women cannot live their lives knowing that they're in a safe place and that the people around them, specifically adults, will advocate for them if something like this were to ever happen. But I just want to say, seeing a group of people who are so loving and embracing one another and really showing up to fight for what's right gives me hope. And I just want to thank you all.
For introducing me to this whole situation, this rally. It came at a time when God had been speaking to me to stop being quiet. The culture of rape and abuse goes back generations. As far as I'm pretty much a product of a statutory rape type of situation. My father was like 50, my mother was like in her teens, and at first I didn't really understand it for what it was.